It was at this moment he knew he was done for. Breaking news! Walter's body hates him. Anyway, okay, so I can admit that was me. That was little me jumping off a 3-story couch. I was about 3 or 5 at that time, and my brain wasn't fully developed. I thought I was Spider-Man, but I was more like Spooderman. So I climbed up that couch, thinking that was the Burj Khalifa. I was climbing a skyscraper. That's how high I thought it was. And I told my dad, Daddy, take a video of me. He told me, no, son, get down there. That is a very bad idea and you're going to hurt yourself. But I didn't listen. So he took a video of me and I jumped off. I felt like Superman soaring through that sky. Oh my word, I felt free. And then, kaboom! I fell very hard. It felt like a meteorite. That was one of my worst moments. And now I know, don't climb stuff that are very high and don't jump off it. But I still haven't learned my lesson, as you'll hear later in the story. Soccer or football? I don't care what you call it. We all know it's a great sport. I love soccer or football. I'm just going to call it football for the sake. I love football. It is one of the best sports. I think I'm pretty good at it. But as you could see, at that time, I was not very good at it. So I only started playing soccer at 12 years old, which I am now. And I think that my journey there was a bit rough. As you could see, I felt a bit dizzy and I didn't feel well that day. So I think I should have eaten before it and then go and practice. But no, I was so determined to be like Neymar Jr. or Messi that I just wanted to go play. So I went to play outside and kicked the ball around. And I told myself, this is the last goal and then I'm going inside. But my body disagreed with me fully. It was like, no, stop right there, you're not doing this. So instead of just saying to my brain, okay, you can stop now, that's enough. No, my body told my legs, okay, miss the ball and fall. And that's exactly what happened. And my back, my tailbone, my coccyx, ooh, it pained for the rest of the week. Oh my word, I can still feel it today. My tailbone is broken. No, it didn't actually break, but that was a very sore fall. Okay, so we all know tag. I think tag is a sport now because I saw this guy on shorts, but it's fine. Yeah, I'll watch shorts. My bad. But we all know tag. We all know that it's fun. But my tag journey, I overused journey, I know. But my tag journey was spoiled to the bone. Because when I was about 6 or 7, I'm not doing it for the meme, I promise. But actually, when I was about 6 or 7, I was playing tag with my friends and it was raining. And they were about to go home, but then we said, okay, one more round, Mom, that's all we want. So we played one more round. But that one round costs me a full season of sport. Because we were playing, and as we were playing, I was slipping the whole time. And my mom looked at me and thought, I don't think this is a good idea. But I said, oh no, Mom, it's fine. I'll take care of myself. But I didn't. I didn't. I slipped, and we had these sharp tiles. So then I slipped, and I slid into that. And my knee cut open. I still have a mark to this day. And I was freaking out. I was screaming. The friends stayed because, I mean, you can't really just leave then. So my mom took me to the bathtub and she couldn't take me for x-rays for some reasons. So she took me to the bathtub, wiped down my knee, said, oh no, you're fine, man. I'll just put some bandages over your knee. And I went on with school and it was like nothing happened. But I still have a bruise, Mom. Okay, so imagine this. You're driving in a neighborhood and you're driving 65 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. Okay, so I was on my motorbike and just like doing some wheelies, having fun when I was also about 6 or 7, not doing it for the meme. Okay, so then I was going and I was driving my motorcycle and there was this wall, but it was very weirdly shaped. I don't like the guy that made this wall. I think that guy should pay for my fees because the wall went like this, then came out, and then went like that and came back in. So I was driving along the wall because my dad was on this side driving on his motorcycle. So I was driving 65 miles per hour. Keep that in mind, 65 miles per hour. And then boom, into the wall. Flat out with my left knee into that wall. And then I just blacked out. I just saw everything. So my life flashed before my eyes. And then boom, I'm in my bed. And my mom's taking off my boots. I'm screaming of the pain. And it was kind of weird because my knee felt like jelly. Maybe it was kneaded jelly. Not funny? Okay. But anyway, so my mom takes off my boots and it feels like my knee is water. But we didn't go for x-rays. Like most of my stories here, we don't go for x-rays. That's not how we do it. So my mom just rests me, I watch something, and I just go on with life. But my knee still gives me problems to this day. When I run, it like strains. And I don't think there's like, everything's perfect here. So I think that messed up a bit. Now I'm going to talk about a sport that you should not play in your whole life, ever. Don't ever play this sport, and that is rugby. Because I've gotten so many injuries with rugby, but I'm only going to talk about 2 today. So firstly, it's a wrist injury, and my wrist is still clicking and clacking and tacking, and oh, it frustrates me, and it pains every single day. So a very big guy, I'm going to call him big for this story's sake, so he tackled me and I fell. But it didn't fall in a normal way. I fell with my wrist like this. So I was like falling like that. And my wrist bent back and touched this skin, flesh, bone. And I was freaking out. It was paining so much. And we wanted to go for x-rays, but it was taking too long. So we just went home. My mom bandaged it like she always does. And I just relaxed. But I couldn't relax with the constant pain in my wrist. So I couldn't play games. I couldn't watch TV normally and lay down because that would hurt too much. So I couldn't do anything. But my mom still forced me to go to school even though I couldn't write with this wrist because this is my right hand and I'm right-handed. My second injury in rugby was, it was not my proudest moment. I got absolutely grounded. I got demolished. I got smashed by a guy from other school. And I didn't just get hurt. I got, as I said, demolished, smashed, absolutely grounded. Because he tackled me while I was jumping and getting the ball because the guy delayed the pass so much. But anyway, not blaming him. So I jumped up, he tackled me, and then boom! I fell down so hard. My wind was out. Everything was out of order. And then I was out for the whole tournament. Yo. I couldn't play for that whole tournament. And then my coach was so mad at me. He screamed at me. He said, "Why did you fail?" But anyway, he's a fire coach. So then I didn't play for the whole tournament. I went home and my rugby season was done. Okay, so this one is actually a funny one. So my whole life I wanted to be a YouTuber, and now that I turned 13, I could finally make that happen. And this is one of my proudest moments. Not the video though, that is not. So the reason I did that, I can't even remember what the video was about. But I know it was something to do with bad guys, sorry. And something to do with like superheroes or something like that. And I just remember boxing myself and hitting the car. I didn't even know why. But like, it wasn't sore, it was just brain damaging myself. So little me wasn't so smart as a YouTuber. I would make any video even if it hurt myself. And then finally, my last injury. It's pretty sad that we've gone this far. But this one is pretty dumb. So when I was a kid, I was thinking I was a daredevil. I thought that I was the coolest guy, jumping from every single thing that I can and just driving off stuff everywhere. I was just crazy as a little kid. So I started jumping off these JoJo tanks. So we had them at our stairs, so I climbed on the stairs, then I climbed on them, and after my parents told me exactly, do not jump off them, you are going to hurt yourself. Like they have said so many times, and like I haven't listened to them once. I jumped off it again and again and again. And then my ankles gave in one time. It just gave in completely. I jumped and boom, my ankles broke. Didn't actually break, like I said. I was still developing my bones and they were soft and gooey. So then my ankles just like flipped. I started crying and it was all shaboozle. But luckily my ankles are fine now. And someone also threw a brick on my head. But more on that in part 2. See you guys in part 2, hopefully. Please like and subscribe. And see you guys in the next video.